Thank you, Mangat. And without further ado, thank you for still continuing to address me as President. It feels good. The initiative was taken when I was President. That's why I've kept this slide here. And I'm happy that, Mangat, that besides the luminaries of the vitreoretinal world, there are a lot of general ophthalmologists here. Because I think we need to demystify diabetes and bring it out from the purview of the VRSI or the vitreoretinal surgeons, and let it be everyone's responsibility as general ophthalmologists not to shun a patient of diabetes who walks in, but to dilate every pupil and examine it with whatever instrument suits you best, but look for diabetic eye changes. So we wanted to popularize the awareness amongst the diabetics of the country that eye examination is a mandatory one, and I promised this in my thrust area, it's a single point thrust area, when I took over on 6th February in Agra to increase awareness. And right away within a month, with the help of Dr. Rajvardhan Azad, we had a roundtable meeting chaired by all the who's who concerned with diabetes. Many NGOs like the Indian Institute of Public Health, Orbis, Vision 2020, Sight Savers were all represented in the meeting, including the Government of India, and a lot of good decisions were made. They backed up my plan to have a dedicated diabetic week, and everyone was in agreement with this, that we would involve everyone. We involved everyone in the managing committee and it took their help to organize these mega diabetic eye screening clinics, or DESC, and we prepared AIS certificates of appreciation which are being sent immediately after this conference to all those who helped us in this initiative. A lot of planning and hard work. The Diabetes Awareness Week took off from 14th to 20th November. And almost all the 28 states and union territories, including, I'm happy, even places as remote as Andaman and Nicobar Islands, had a diabetic eye screening clinic during that particular week and helped spread awareness. And each camp had a member of AIOS in charge. The AIOS office took the help of CIPLA, which generally agreed to help with publicity and venue finalization if asked to do so. And continuously we sent reminders to all those who had agreed to participate and urged the participants to get in touch with the local media publicity. This was important because we were not just targeting the diabetics visiting the DESC, but also society at large, so that even those who missed the deadline could then go to the friendly neighborhood ophthalmologist for advice. We also tried to involve the Diabetic Federation of India and did talk to their office bearer. I'm not too sure how helpful that was. The AIOS MOU was signed by almost 150 participants. We were rather strict because this was the first time and we didn't want any adverse publicity. So we insisted that the diabetic eye screening clinic should be held only in public places like marriage halls or charitable institutes and not in the private clinics of members. We didn't want any allegation that we were doing it to promote ourselves. And we asked people, if possible, to check up blood sugar, and if possible, to have a physician or a dietitian give advice at their place, but that was not mandatory. We insisted that the camp must have an AIOS member in charge at all times, and it could be run for 1 or more days, and patients should have their vision check, their intraocular pressure check, and their dilated fundus examination. And there was a format which everyone had to fill, a Form 1, which was designed in conjunction with the RP Center. And the AIS logo must feature prominently in all educational materials. At each camp, the patients requiring further treatment were referred to higher centers, and under no circumstances should a particular private institute be promoted. And by and large, in the 150 DESCs, this has been scrupulously followed. What next now? We've received back almost 10,000 forms with almost 35 variables in the form. And it's been handed over to a professional data entry organization, and they're filling in the data. It's a little hard going because some of the forms have been filled in regional languages, which shouldn't have happened. So we're having to get them translated. Some forms are incomplete. All the data is not there. So it's taking a little time. But by end of February, we'll have the forms ready with the data all in with 35 variables. And we'll then have our experts make some sense out of this raw data and come to several conclusions. We will then share this data with our AIS colleagues, perhaps by writing it up as several papers in the IGO. Material will only be written up in the IGO. It will never go to any other journal. We will also share this information with Vision 2020 and the Government of India, with whom we are in continuous contact, and they are waiting for this data so that they can make plans accordingly, because the national plan for prevention of blindness is already in its advanced stages of planning with the government, and this data will help them to direct their resources. The next president of AIS, Dr. Debashish, has promised to carry this project further, learning from the shortcomings we had, so that this year's DESCs will be even better than last year's. Beyond the DESC, the ARC has also taken this up, and we are having 10 CMEs this year on diabetic retinopathy. 2 in each zone is being done with the help of Novartis, so that in every zone there will be 2 CMEs. 1 has already taken place. 9 CMEs are being planned for this year. AIS members should take advantage, especially general ophthalmologists, and get trained in early recognition and management of diabetic retinopathy. Especially if you are practicing in a place where you don't have a VR surgeon close by, it behoves you to learn how to detect these patients early, so that you can manage them with medical treatment, with lasers, with intravitreals, before they go into a proliferative stage where you need vitreoretinal help. So especially if there's no referral center nearby, please attend one of these 10 CMEs and benefit from this. On behalf of AIS, I thank you. You're carrying out almost 150 DESCs is proof of your commitment to the cause of increasing awareness that diabetes causes blindness amongst the diabetic population of India. I'm not giving statistics. There are enough speakers after me who will give us. Together we will figure out the best way forward to realize this AIS dream. We will make a difference. We have to make a difference. We owe this to our diabetics. Let's make the most of today so the diabetics can make the most of their tomorrows. Let's find solutions today itself. Thank you so much for your attention.